Tu nous entends? Ah oui, oui, c'est bon. Ouais.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Javier. I'm the head of the unit in charge of the LPIS upkeeping here in Castilla y León, and we have we are going to present our idea from the perspective of the improving the controls of the cap payments. So we have forgotten all the part Alberto has presented before. Not forgotten because we haven't taken into account any of these parts that we think are useful too. But looking only to the items which are necessary to improve the controls for the payments, for the cap payments, we think that the first point, I think it is in many places in this identity card. I think the main goal is to make an as easier as possible interface, the most friendly interface we can make. We have also in that sense we have told in another answer that we prefer a mobile application, although it is not mandatory at all. I think the requirements are useful for both web application or mobile application. But thinking about farmers and cap policy and control monitoring control by monitoring, we think the mobile is the best device to be accepted by the farmers, because we think it will be easier, and only in that sense we think mobile is preferred for us, but not mandatory and not the only option for sure, because not only the farmers will be the potential users of this kind of application, we understand. Okay, and I think this is the first goal. Everything is around this idea.
Okay.
The easier the application will be, the best, the most improvement we will achieve from the control activity. We are all thinking about control activity and the success, in the best improve. So in that sense, if we have an application with some kind of starting interface as this, we think, okay, yes.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, that's right. That's okay. Okay. Vale. Well, the thinking about improving the result of the controls, we think we have to put the focus on the alert system. We think the warning about the non-compliances and anything that is not going okay in the control in the process of the control monitoring will be the thing the first has to arise in the mobile device or whatever. So we are thinking about in a mobile environment. We think the alert system of the own alert system that has the mobile Android or whatever has to arise the alerts thrown by the application by the alert system. So the farmer has the first at the first moment the farmer has to take the alert into account, and then this alert can bring the farmer to the application where of course the map will be the context where everything happens in the application, and in the main form we think it can be we call it the list of the warning parcels. No? The thing we think the item we think is yes the list of the warning parcels could be the point to enter into the application and to start the interaction of the farmer. In this form, the farmer has to watch easily which parcels have some kind of incidence or some kind of something that is not going wrong. He has to have a button to go to navigate to the location of the parcel which he has selected, and he has to at the side one icon who informs which is the action we are expecting from him to solve this kind of warning. Maybe a geotag photo, as is tried to be drawn in this icon. Maybe some kind of document which validates a seed, certificated seed, or any other, maybe some task who has been developed by a third part, something like that. And maybe we need just a date of one of the tillage tasks or the date of harvest or anything. So and also we could ask for any kind of test message which clarifies something that we cannot understand from the automated remote sensing process. No? So we can ask the farmer on each parcel for one or many of these type of actions that we need to confirm the compliancy or not of the requirements of the CAP policy that we are looking for in monitoring. No? So, for example, talking about incidences, we think if you press the button of the geotag photo, multimedia assistant geotag must be shown just to bring the farmer all the instructions to make the best geotag photo. For instance, from which location you have to pick the photo, looking to what direction. I need a perspective, a wide photo of all the landscape. I need a detailed photo or whatever. Of course, photos geotag with EXIF data are required, and the application must check if the device is able to pick this kind of document, graphic multimedia document. This could be one of the forms. The other one, for example, one simple form to pick the dates of the list of tasks. This is task, not task, but written, that we need to achieve to confirm if the changes, the detection of the changes we have gathered from the remote sensing data match with one task that could be corresponding with if the date of the task corresponds with the change in the images we have detected. So it could be an evidence of a good practice or that we are looking for, because one of the main things in monitoring and control is to gather evidences of agricultural practices. And sometimes we can, with Sentinel and with SENSAGRI products, we can see that some changes have been detected, but we don't know for sure if they correspond to one tillage stack, one agricultural practice that could be compliance or the opposite. Well, this is an example of, for example, one invoice that could justify some requirement of the CAP policy that we are trying to verify. And this is for us is the main module that must work in this application, taking into account the improvement of controls. That was what we are looking for. but in most general point of view, of course, still in the private area of the application, taking into account that some kind of authentication has been provided, we can provide the list of plots of the farmer which corresponds with the authentication. Only the plots that the farmer is allowed to see on the map for detailed information of controls. Only my own plots. I mean, in these plots, we can, the farmer, we think it could be a good idea to bring information about the result of the monitoring, something like, the results of monitoring will be delivered by green, yellow, or red traffic light. This means compliancy, non-compliancy, or follow-up activity will be needed in yellow light cases. So we think the farmer will be more confident with the application and with all the system if he is able to check all the results, not only the bad things but all the things, just to have an idea of a certain kind of accuracy we are trying to gather in this application. So I think the more successful of our traffic lights systems will be the more confidence level for the farmers and the more useful the application. No? So in this case, we could bring the farmer the list of all his parcels and some tools to go for the zoom, to locate the parcel in the map and to see things like in this last bottom, some additional data, very interesting, and now we are entering in the part of smart farming, not only control, and we can show him DBI profiles, whatever time series, whatever graphical information from the SENSAGRI products or Sentinel information as general that could be useful for them and that could make the farmer more and more used to deal with this big data and this information that now is not the common situation. And I think that's all for us, for our part.
The sound wasn't very clear enough for Gérard. Tu nous entends, Gérard? Ah oui, he shut down his microphone on his side, not to allow us to listen to all the sound behind yeah, c'est bon, on t'entend.
Je vous entends pas très bien.
D'accord. Est-ce que tu nous entends toujours pas très bien? Okay.
Je sais pas, finalement c'était peut-être mieux tout à l'heure, je sais pas.
Ah oui, d'accord. Ça marche. Est-ce que tu as des questions peut-être pour préciser, pour mieux comprendre son idée, pour améliorer le contrôle grâce à un plus large panel de données?
Ouais. Moi, j'ai vraiment eu du mal à capter ce qu'il voulait faire.
Non,
donc je sais pas si tu peux me faire un résumé en français en quelques mots ou c'est trop compliqué?
Je vais essayer de resynthétiser en français.
Non.
Moi.
Ah.
Je pense que ce qui a été présenté, c'est la volonté dans un premier temps de rentrer dans un suivi global pour l'agence par un système de warning. Donc là, il y a une dimension entre guillemets de traitement de données qui va être lourde, c'est-à-dire c'est sur quoi on fixe les warnings.
Ouais, ça je pense avoir compris.
Alors,
et ça, c'est complètement dans l'axe de la commission en tête.
Voilà. Derrière ça, l'idée, c'est à partir des warnings de mettre les agriculteurs en situation proactive sur la complémentarité du contrôle Parce qu'on a bien entendu que du côté de l'agence de paiement, la crainte, c'est que le nouveau système, ça génère un surtravail et qu'il n'arrive pas, pas à faire face. Donc
Ouais.
le propos derrière, c'est de proposer aux acteurs de pouvoir une série de services que eux peuvent réaliser.
D'accord. C'est automatiser déjà la détection de
Donc-
cas litigieux et que l'agriculteur soit en mesure de réagir en faisant des photos, y compris des photos sur le terrain.
Ouais, si je le dis avec nuance en français, c'est on n'identifie pas des cas litigieux, on identifie des situations dans lesquelles l'agence a des difficultés.
D'accord.
C'est l'agence qui se met en situation de demander aux farmers de compléter sa compréhension des contextes. On rentre dans une logique proactive avec les agriculteurs, avec les farmers.
D'accord.
Et donc,
Ça, c'est intéressant.
il y a une série de templates et d'outils qui sont mis à disposition de l'agriculteur pour compléter l'information de l'agence.
D'accord.
Ça, c'est ce qui a été présenté. Et puis après, il y a un deuxième type d'outil. Alors là, moi aussi, j'ai des questions à poser. Celui-là d'outil, cet outil-là, il est plutôt, à mon avis, à vocation appréciation de la performance du suivi de l'agence sur les parcelles de l'agriculteur, les différents plots. Donc il y a l'idée du feu tricolore qui permet qui est un deuxième système de warning d'une certaine façon. C'est un warning qualité. Et donc en fait, l'agence peut voir de quelle façon, chez tel agriculteur, on a une parcelle qui pose problème. Elle peut refaire des analyses, soit par agriculteur, soit par zone, peut-être. Et donc améliorer son process. Et à partir de cette interface-là, l'agriculteur, lui, il peut aussi apporter des informations complémentaires ou venir rechercher des informations complémentaires sur sa parcelle. Et là, c'était la fin de l'exposé. Les informations complémentaires, elles font le lien avec la dynamique service à l'agriculteur. C'est-à-dire qu'il y a une articulation vers de quelle façon la donnée et le système de données mis en œuvre par l'agence de paiement peut venir contribuer soit à de l'information directe pour l'agriculteur, soit éventuellement à mobiliser une communauté d'acteurs des services. Ce matin, on a parlé des banques, des coopératives, ou des mid-users, des acteurs B2C qui pourraient jouer dans la boucle. Voilà.
But the main point here, from the point of view of SENSAGRI, I think that is this one, because we need our farmers to be to get used to this kind of information. I mean, we talk about NDVI, we talk about live, but we have the challenge of making them understand what it is. I mean, how interpret that to avoid no compliance applications. So I think what we need to have are some products very easy to understand for farmers, and we need to be able to explain to them how to use them. So perhaps from the point of view of SENSAGRI, we need this kind of products. It's easier, and that's it.
Je vais continuer en français, mais Gérard, tu peux reprendre en anglais. Ce que vous venez de dire nous fait très plaisir parce que c'est notre hypothèse de travail dans SENSAGRI. Nous, on considère que ce qui est proposé par SENSAGRI, c'est un premier niveau de produit. Et que dans les différents contextes, des acteurs comme vous doivent reprendre ça et en faire un service qui a du sens pour les agriculteurs. Et notamment, arriver peut-être avec une ou plusieurs données de télédétection, venir vers la construction d'un indicateur qui va avoir de l'utilité pour les agriculteurs. Et donc, c'est important, Gérard, parce que comme ça, je te replace dans la dynamique de notre réflexion. À midi, la question qui était posée, c'était mais SENSAGRI est un peu en décalage avec la façon dont on a démarré. On est parti trop tôt par rapport à l'émergence de la philosophie de la CAP aujourd'hui. Et moi, ce que je disais, c'est que SENSAGRI n'est qu'une étape, c'est-à-dire on vérifie si cette approche elle est intéressante. Et en gros, ça peut peut-être préfigurer des communautés de travail qui vont enclencher la deuxième étape, celle que vous décrivez. C'est-à-dire,
No, I don't understand really.
I said
Maybe I can try to translate.
Okay.
If I, what Bernard was saying is that the product of SENSAGRI are probably just a first step, and probably they are not well suited, adapted to the needs of ITASI, for instance. So entities like ITASI have to get this information from SENSAGRI and build upon the actual application you need.
Yeah.
And probably with SENSAGRI started too early compared to the CAP process, but still we can adapt. I think most of the SENSAGRI products or others to your real needs.
Okay,
Need of farmers.
let's put it this way. We need to translate SENSAGRI products to not only to farmers, but also to our market system to tell the farmers what is going on their parcels. So
Yes.
that's what we'd like to get from SENSAGRI.
Really, from the CAP point of view, we are expecting the useful markers,
Yeah.
but we know that this is not the only thing that must be provided, but markers for us can be a solution for many problems we don't have any way now to deal with.
Okay. But you know, SENSAGRI was built by scientists, so scientists have always nice ideas, but not always related to the needs of the users.
Yeah, we discussed that on the lunch.
That's why these two fellows are here with us. I think, no?
In fact, you should have first 1 year living lab with several entities and then define the products.
Yeah. I have one question. When you say that farmers are marker system, which include farmers but also others, I don't know them yet. They need to. It's important from ITASI that this marker system understand this information, which is provided thanks to different product.
Yeah.
And maybe SENSAGRI product. What is this information that improve the control process, and how and what's the place of SENSAGRI product? What I mean is, do you need SENSAGRI product here at a semi-operational level of maturity, or do you need a very strong technical level of the SENSAGRI product?
No. We need, from the SENSAGRI products, we need something that can provide us evidences of agricultural practices, or another kind of markers, for instance, the crop identification. That is also an evidence for us to get to put the payments okay. So we need for instance lay data or tillage data. We need markers that could be an increase of lay in some range of dates. This is an evidence for us of some kind of agricultural practices in front of the aid application that is for barley declared, and it is compatible with this lay information or NDVI information, or I have an evidence of tillage task that it is complies with barley or wheat
Yeah.
declaration.
I mean, we need to translate all the information for SENSAGRI, for Sentinel, whatever, into markers.
Yeah.
And that markers will allow us to say if a farmer is doing anything wrong, something wrong. So this is the first step. This is behind this, the backstage. And then we need these raw products to show the farmers where this information comes from.
To make the product more acceptable,
Yeah.
more confident.
To make them understand what is going on. We are not going to tell them we are using this marker because they don't yeah.
They want to understand.
But this marker allow us to to say something about that.
How it's built.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So these are the products. With these products, we make some markers. However we cook them, let's say that, and then we tell you, you are doing the things right. We are agreed with your apply, with what your subsidiary apply, and then we proceed with the payment, or not. On the contrary, or not.
And the degree of accuracy of this decision will be the confidence the farmer will have in all the system. If we are wrong in these results, we won't achieve the confidence of a farmer. But this is a tool. The degree of accuracy in the markers and in the results is a tool to have the acceptance of the farmer, and complemented with this raw information, converting numbers to charts or anything that could be better understood by the farmers, and in these two things must help us to make all this information, applications, and all this stuff useful for the farmer community.
Do you think you can go on what we are going to do with the community of farmers in your region? Make your cooking with the community of farmers. Je vais le dire en français, faire en sorte que des fermiers soient co-constructeurs avec vous du premier prototype, par exemple.
If we have some kind of prototype of this type of application,
build it with farmer, not only in your.
No, que si lo hemos hecho en colaboración con los agricultores.
Sí. No, we are. Lo más cerca que tenemos son las apps, ¿no?
Sí, pero bueno, quiere decir que el diseño de la aplicación lo estamos haciendo solo desde nuestro lado, sí.
Yeah. We don't have any Czech farmers.
Some set of early adopters which share this work with us. No. We have started from our part, and in fact we. The part with the control functionality is not yet developed, but it is planned, but it is not developed, and this is only thought taken focusing on the administration needs. That's right.
Yeah.
This is the first stage, no?
Yeah, because in fact we don't. We have some ideas about the markers, how to design them.
Yeah, but we already.
But they are not decided. Finally decided.
Yeah.
So we had to change some things, and so it's quite difficult right now. Tell the farmers what we are going to show them.
Okay.
So because all this is coming.
But what we do today, it's not you don't show the markers, but you're beginning to show us the interface we work together. You can do the two things in the same time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we haven't done this thing. Maybe the main reason for that is we have a few resources, human resources. So we are.
And everything is developing.
You can trust on me that we are very busy and we haven't have the time to create a little community of farmers collaborating for collaboration with us. That could be very useful. That's a good idea, because we have to take into account that not all the farmers will be the users for this kind of application. Neither the first year nor the second or third year. There is a rate of farmers, a share of farmers that never will use this kind of applications, never. But we can work with the rest, the little team of advanced farmers that could be the first user for that. Yes, that's right. Young people, very technical farmers.
Eager for smart farming.
And that will be the main farmers in the future, for sure, because they will be the future of the agriculture in Castilla y León. Those kind of technical farmers, not the older people that finally will never use this kind of tools, but they will pass.
The goal or the target I answer is to reduce the agency work. And if the farmer doing a part of the work, it's better.
That's why we have put the main thing is a very very friendly interface, as simpler as possible, the best.
Yeah,
because it's the only way to get some work from them and to save some work on our part.
The main part, the early alert.
Yeah,
the early alert.
Have to collaborate.
This is quite difficult, perhaps, but this is it's possible yet.
Yeah.
To define how you can define an alert, perhaps it's possible or no, I don't know. But this services it's possible to put on comment on dit, mettre en service maintenant.
To make it accessible right now, to build a first demonstrator of this and see people how they will react. C'est ça ton idée ou pas?
Ouais.
Ok. J'ai pas tout suivi.
We have been thinking right now. I've been thinking also in something so simple as business WhatsApp. So we need some type of channel to communicate the alerts somehow, and without map, without anything, only the alert, So this is the first thing, but well, that are that are very very simple ideas.
Okay.
Of course, a very professional alert system must have all the pack. So I cannot imagine a good way to interact with farmers without a map where we say this is the parcel and this is the problem, and I show you that I need this type of document or anything. No? So to make the thing easier, maybe we have to make a complex application. I don't know if more or less complex, but to make things easier, sometimes we have to make to do our work that is complex, starting from the SENSAGRI products that are the source, and how do you exploit the sources. This application is one one channel to exploit.
Because you can begin by alert, but you have to build how you can define an alert.
Yeah,
If you
Yeah.
yes.
But you can also begin by this one. Who want to work with us? We give you these two plots, these two
Yes,
products,
yes,
and you take the time to develop the service of alert, but you have also a community working with you. You test this, and I think it's quite easy, and you give us the SENSAGRI information, and they react at the end at this information.
This is in developing, in IT developing is something that is called the little boat paradigm. You know, you start with a little boat, and then you put him how do you say? The rows. And after that you build the top. And at the last you have a craft, a big craft, transatlantic or something, I don't know how. But yeah, for sure we will do something like this, because the real case is something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But you must not forget always that, and this another part will be after that. But if you send some information to the farmer, something like that, something tan simple, you must at the second step you have to put him in a location.
Yes.
You cannot say, oh, you have a problem in ID 31, and you have a problem B. But what? You send me a photo, but from what? From to where?
B, of
What
course.
kind? I have to know that the ID 31 is that parcel, and it is onions, and we don't see the onions on the spot or anything. So we need at the first time at least, I think, GIS application, mobile, web, anything, doesn't matter, and a little environment that is not, at the first step, is not so easy, although you only expect to have this functionality.
Yeah.
And then, but I agree with you that maybe these two things are the best step to start.
Yeah. I suppose. Moi, je voulais proposer,
Vas-y.
pour conclure la journée d'aujourd'hui, parce que je pense qu'on a eu I think we have a lot of good ideas. We are really possible actions. But I want Gérard to explain some. On sait seulement, pour l'instant, on a seulement réagi ou réfléchi aux données SENSAGRI. Mais vous avez écrit Sentinelle 1, Sentinelle 2. Moi, Gérard, est-ce que tu peux éventuellement rajouter à la réflexion, de ton point de vue extérieur, en quoi dans les services qu'on vient d'imaginer, tu penses que certaines données ou flux de données issus de Sentinelle, qui ne sont pas des Copernicus Services, pourraient être utiles? Ça vous semble une bonne question?
Yeah, if the data in Copernicus are useful for us, I think it's more or less.
But I think there is other EO datas which could be interesting in the way of services we have imagined. And I asked Gerard if he knows other datas which are interesting.
Tu nous entends, Gérard? Ouais.
Je peux dire quelques mots, ça risque d'être un peu général. Mais bon.
Go on.
C'est simple.
Ouais. I think there are several products which are more or less in this, I would say, the second part of SENSAGRI. It means, about advanced products. For instance, I think we are able to provide information such as historical records of NDVI or other indices, which can be used with information such as yield derived from harvesters. I don't know if it's very common Castilla y León. But I mean, I don't know if the role of ITACIL, but every farmer could have a private space in a server, will be in ITACIL or provided by another company, where we can record all the information regarding farming practices and NDVI, yield, and so on. So it could be a kind of information system which is private for the farmer, but some part could be shared with other organizations, cooperative or agriculture advisor or ITACIL and so on. So I mean, one of the trends I think in France and most countries in Europe is to build information system for agriculture with a lot of questions regarding privacy, data value, and so on. To be more specific, we have developed in SESBio some prototype web service to provide irrigation advices. So it's based on the satellite data, weather forecast, and so we compute soil moisture depending on the crop, and every day or every week we can say, hey, next week you will probably have to put 50 millimeter of water or 100. This is kind of petition which could be linked to an information system. We have also information at the more regional scale regarding soil moisture with a rather coarse resolution of 1 kilometer. So it's mainly for water management. What else?
We have
also work on intermediate crops and then modeling of carbon budget, biomass, and yield. So it's still research, but we already get some good results for some crops like maize and sunflower. So it's coupling of weather data, satellite data, models to produce information on soil moisture, biomass, carbon fluxes, photosynthesis, and so on.
We already have in ITACIL. I don't know if the people from our colleagues have informed you. You have told some examples. We have now running an irrigation advisory system for all the region now running. One item, and we have a soil type map and information for all agricultural land, that we are trying to gather the most accurate information about the soil composition, etc. We have also a yield prediction system that is running year by year for cereals. By the moment,
it's running day by day.
Day by day, but by the moment, only cereals, I think.
And barley.
And those all systems and those all this information, of course, now we didn't think about that. Now, thinking about SENSAGRI products and satellite information, we didn't talk about that. But in Spain, there are some projects of smart agricultural advisory. We are starting to participate in one that has built an multi-purpose application, which some parts of them are this advisory about the state of the crops, irrigation advisory, more and more, and one application as what we are talking about, of course, could contain this, could integrate this. This is what we call the decision-making tools for the farmers. That not only from satellite sources, but from another interesting sources for agricultural activity.
Okay.
Of course, we didn't talk about it, but you're right that this application should be able to integrate this. Now we are focusing on SENSAGRI products and satellite, but of course, and we can say that luckily here in Castilla we have some products already running that could be integrated in some way. I think the most maybe the most accurate, the most local system could be the irrigation advisory system. That can bring accurate irrigation assessment and at parcel level, but not the only one.
Yes.
So
we thought about make all this information available from
and to put it into the same
from the point of view of farmers.
farming.
So to gather all the information from all applications
Yeah.
running in
Yeah.
that moment,
The-
only one.
The idea is
complementary with this one. Of course.
this is my parcel. I want to know every information, how much it rained. I don't know. Perhaps I don't know.
It is very interesting for us. It would be would add some value for these systems that are now running. But in some cases, farmers don't know that the system is running, and they don't use the irrigation assessment, for example, because they don't know, or they are not used to listen to this kind of information. And this platform could be the platform to add value, the startup to add the value, to put these systems on the valuable position. So there is a clear synergy from from one system to another. Of course.
Yes.
Okay. What is crucial, I believe, is for instance, for irrigation advice, which is given at the field scale. Most of the information is given, a lot of information is given by the farmer. I mean, the sowing date, which crop, did you irrigate in the past week, and so on. So the more there is an interaction between the information we can provide from satellite and models and information given by the farmer, the more efficient is the approach. And then the result could be private or not. It depends on the agreement between the provider of the service and the farmer.
Of course, but there is a clear reuse of the information provided by the farmer, for sure. Because the same sowing date is useful for monitoring and useful for irrigation assessment and useful for whatever, for smart farming advisory, of course. So I think we have to do the things in that way. We cannot forget this other ancillary systems, not ancillary, complementary systems. It's a good idea, for sure.
I think